Entity attachments. Let's talk about it. So last week I had the inspiration to offer some free sessions, and I posted it on my Facebook page, and this woman was right away was like, yes, I would love a free session. I'm such a fan of yours. And she was a friend of mine on Facebook, but I didn't really know her, and that's okay. So we did the session yesterday, and she was a very high frequency client, person. Her core energy was really incredible, but she had really bad blockages in her third eye, her solar plexus, and her root. And as I went through her system, she had 3 unique entity attachments. So attached energies can happen in so many different ways. So there's really, I'm not going to go into that right now, but in her third eye, I felt an implanted energy. So it was a technology. It wasn't like a real person. It was a technology meant to stop her from reaching her full potential in her third eye and gaining wisdom and connection. And so that was removed. The second attachment she had was in her solar plexus, and it was the energy of a young girl. It was just this little girl, and this little girl soul wanted a mommy, and she attached to this beautiful client. And there was this unnatural but mutually beneficial arrangement, I guess, exchange, energy exchange, but it was generating a distorted view of care in this beautiful client. And so this little girl energy was removed and sent back to her real mama in spirit. And that was lovingly handled. In her root, however, there was a very dark energy, and when I first saw it, it looked like it was hanging on to her, keeping her down, really weighing her down. And while I'm going through this process, my client is just crying and crying and crying, and she's feeling all these things happening in her energy field. Really, really visceral reactions to what was going on. And so when I got to this entity in her root chakra, which was rather dark, I should say, it started to attack me. And so before I did this work, I used an energy spray in my auric field, and it contained essential oils. And I remember inhaling these essential oils, but it was no big deal. When I started to work with this entity, it went to this field in my throat chakra and caused me to gag. And I started to gag, and I tasted the oils from the spray, which I had inhaled, I don't know, 15 minutes beforehand, 20 minutes beforehand. And then I was like, oh, hold on a minute. You don't know who you're dealing with. I said, and this was spontaneous. This is nothing that I knew to say. It just came through me. I contain the God code. There's nothing you can do to me. And when I did that, this entity went, oh crap. Okay, I can't manipulate her. And so this entity was actually removed and went off with Archangel Michael. And I will talk about my process if you want me to. Just leave a comment there below if you want me to talk about my entity attachment removal process. But my point being was that this God code is accessible to all of us. We have it in our DNA because we are divine beings. The thing is that it's not activated in everyone. All right, I've been doing spiritual work for many, many years, and I've devoted my life to this. The God code dwells within all of us. We need to activate it in order for it to work with us, for us, and through us. So I did not know what a God code was until yesterday, and my higher self channeled it through me. And then it dawned on me, yes, for sure. I've had other clients that have seen me as an angelic figure with a staff of light, as a figure with a sword of light, when I deal with these energies. And it's not like I'm attacking these energies. That's not the point. I'm there to actually convert them, actually offer them the opportunity to change their polarity and to go from service to self to service to others. In other words, to walk in the light. And so that's what I did. And this beautiful woman, she was an angelic being for sure. And she and what I kept telling her is that there's no difference between me and you. I'm just further along on my spiritual journey than you are. You're still working out what it means to be in this human body and dealing with this realm that we're living in. And so it was an incredible session, and I wanted to share that with you about this whole concept of the God code, and that it is something that we all contain in our DNA, all right? And that it can activate within us so that you too can stand against whatever it is that wants to bring you down and say, wait a minute, guys, you don't know who you're dealing with, okay? Nothing can touch this. Okay, love you all. And if you want to know more about entity attachments, comment below. I might do a series on it. All right, bye.